Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Hashtag live if you're watching live, hashtag replay if you're on replay. So, I don't dive into myths very much, but this week I'm going to dispel 5 common nutritional myths. So, the first one we're going to dive into is the carbohydrate myth. So, the fact that I still have to do this video after so many years just goes to show me how powerful and how much propaganda and minutia there is out there as it relates to nutrition. So I'm going to just cut, as I do with everything, I'm just going to cut right to the point, okay? This hypothesis that carbohydrates are the enemy is, number one, a very huge overgeneralization of the entire macronutrient of carbohydrates, which also includes vegetables and fruits. And I would shudder to think that anyone would ever say that that vegetables and fruits, being a carbohydrate and in this classification, are inherently bad. Obviously, they're not. They're very nutritious. They supply very important vitamins and minerals to our body that we need in order to function. And then furthermore, as we go on down the chain, we look at, sweet potatoes, okay? A lot of vitamins and minerals in those foods. We look at different types of rices. We look at, different types of, other things that we enjoy like pizza or sugary foods, right? So this kind of overall generalization that carbohydrates, period, end of story, are the enemy is bullshit. I said it, and it feels good to say it because it is. So what this has done for the American public is it has made us as a society demonize and bastardize carbohydrates as a whole. Because the first thing that people think of is what they have to do if they want to lose weight. I must cut out carbohydrates. Okay? Now, let's say, for instance, that does happen. Let's say, for instance, today you say, you know what? To hell with it. Low carbs is what I'm going to do. I'm going to count my calories. I'm going to count my macros. And I'm going to make sure that I hit my low carbohydrate goal. What's going to happen? Well, as with anything that you do diet-wise, the first initial shock to your body is loss of weight. Now, whether that was fat or muscle or water or a combination of all three, again, to be debated. But at the end of the day, the long-term sustainable effort of eating low carbohydrates usually for most people ends up being futile. All because we've propagandaed and bastardized and demonized this entire macronutrient, which encompasses a whole lot of food groups. So it is a lie that in order to lose weight, you have to watch your carbohydrates. I would like to put an asterisk on this and go further and talk about the processed carbohydrates, okay? The potato chips, the donuts, the sugary drinks, etc., okay, which are full of processed carbs, full of processed sugar. Yes, from an overall standpoint, those are foods that we would want to eat less of. Notice I didn't say eat none of, okay? Now, I'm not encouraging anyone to go out and eat donuts. I'm not encouraging anyone to go out and eat Twinkies, but you know what? If your heart is set on it one day and you want to, and you can eat it sanely with control and not have to eat it every day, what's the problem? There is no problem, because at the end of the day, what really matters is how much food you eat per day on an average over the course of a week, months, years is going to be the result of whether you lose weight or you gain weight or you stay the same. Because at the end of the day, it is at a basic level about the amount that you eat. Now, there are so many other factors that factor into this, which makes this a lot more complicated than just having this video here today. But understand that your body uses, glucose, which is what is going to be the what breaks down sugar or just carbohydrates in general, or really anything, uses glucose in order to feed the brain. The brain feeds off glucose. So that's what happens when you cut the carbohydrates out of your diet. You get foggy, you get a little, you just get like really, like it's like your brain doesn't quite function as sharp as maybe it did before. To the contrary, when we're eating a whole lot of processed carbohydrates, we become lethargic, brain doesn't function as well, etc. Okay, so you can see that to overgeneralize this entire macronutrient is completely unfair. Again, not to beat a damn horse, but it demonizes and bastardizes this entire process when it is about the type of carbohydrates that need to be eaten less of versus eaten some of or more of. And this same philosophy can be applied to fats and proteins as well. If I walk into a convenience store and get a protein bar, okay, yes, it is a protein bar, and yes, it may have 40 grams of protein, but it also has 375,000 ingredients in it. Not the same as me going and ordering a 12-ounce filet mignon and getting the same amount of protein. So, again, we're trying to compare apples to oranges, and it is more detailed than that, but for our purposes, as it relates to me coaching clients, at least on this nutritional piece, it's about portion control, it's about eating more unprocessed foods, focusing on eating unprocessed proteins, and, eating to 80% full, and making sure that we're eating nice and slow so that our body can digest our food. And that's just the baseline structure of the way nutrition works. So I hope you found value in this video, that if you were on the side of the fence that thinks that, oh no, carbohydrates, if I look at a carbohydrate, it makes me fat. Okay, let's all be honest with ourselves and know that that is not the case. And understand that carbohydrates as an entire macronutrient should not be demonized and bastardized. That's the fourth time I've said it here on this video. So understand this is a myth. It's a bullshit myth. And unfortunately, it still exists. If you have more questions, you have more concerns, you have anything that you want answered or something that you want covered that I didn't cover in this video, please drop it in the comment section below. #value if you found value in this video. Hope everybody has a happy and healthy day, and go eat your damn carbohydrates.